What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Wrestling World Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Austin Boyer. And before we get to tonight's video, hit that like and sub button and hit that notification bell for more wrestling content, updates, rumors, and spoilers. All right, guys, it's late. I can't sleep. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning right now. And scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Twitter, and I see, AEW fans going at it with WWE fans, WWE fans going at it with AEW fans. And somebody just said on there, they said, you know, they said people hate AEW because it's different. And they also said WWE can't accept that, that WWE is still, the WWE fans are still stuck in the Monday Night Wars phase because they miss it. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. Okay, there's a reason why I don't watch AEW, and I'm going to tell you why. I've given up on AEW. I refuse to watch AEW. It's not because they suck. I mean, they do now. I mean, I watched AEW in the beginning. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was different. But that was in the beginning. Okay, now it's terrible. No booking. Storylines are trash. The characters, they have the talent. They have Orange Cassidy. They got MJF. They have Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, who could put on a 5-star match no matter who he's with. And they put him with Moxley, who can't put on a good match to save his life. And what they got Bryan Danielson doing now, the whole stuff with Moxley putting a bag over his head, stupid. All right? Just plain stupid. The Swerve Strickland, excuse me, the Swerve Strickland Adam Page stuff was completely stupid. Getting slammed on cinder blocks, a needle in the mouth. I mean, if this is what you consider pro wrestling, that's fine. To me, it's an insult to pro wrestling. Now, if you watch AEW, that's fine. I'm not going to knock it. If you're a fan of that type of pro wrestling, okay. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a reason ECW is not here. There's a reason why AEW sucks. And, it's not that WWE sees AEW as competition, that's why they hate it. It's plain to see that AEW cannot put on a good show. That Tony Khan does not know what he's doing. I wish people would realize that. And now, mind you, I didn't watch the latest AEW pay-per-view or whatever. I gave up on AEW a long time ago. I gave up on AEW when they aired the CM Punk Jack Perry footage. So when I heard about the pay-per-view that AEW put out and how bad it did, now I guess the numbers were good. They were able to put butts in seats, surprise, because they can't do that for Collision. But the needle to the mouth, slamming people in cinder blocks, bag over the head. To me, it's not pro wrestling. And like I said, if you're into that stuff, good for you, okay. Not gonna hate you for it, but it's just not wrestling to me. It's an insult to pro wrestling. To me, I don't even want to say Vince Russo booking. Because even Vince Russo, I don't even think he'd book something so stupid. And I'm not a fan of Russo. I'm a Jim Cornette guy. Surprise. But I just, I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal to AEW. And the more I hear people talk about WWE, the more I hear people defend AEW and bash WWE at the same time, the more I hate the entire fan base. The more I get irritated with AEW fans. I don't watch the product, I don't care to, but I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to bash people for watching AEW. It's just not for me. I'm not going to go out and say, AEW is better than WWE or WWE is better than AEW. If you enjoy that type of wrestling, okay, cool. It's not for me. My thing is enjoy pro wrestling. If AEW is not for you, don't watch it. If WWE is not for you, don't watch it. But don't sit here and bash other companies and bash other fans for liking something different. AEW to me is terrible. It sucks. Back to what I was saying earlier about they have the roster. They got MJF, they got Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, Danhausen, who they never use. They got Adam Page, Adam Cole, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa. They have the talent, but when you look at AEW, when you watch Collision like I did 2 weeks ago, it looks like an indie show. This does not look like a professional wrestling show. This looks like two wrestlers that are getting paid to perform in front of 15 people at a high school gymnasium, if that, because that's what it looks like. It looks like just an indie pro wrestling show that maybe charged $35 a ticket. I don't understand. And Tony Khan, to me, just, I don't know. I used to praise AEW. I used to love AEW. Back when it first came out, I used to love it. And that's not, that's why I said I'm not trying to be biased. Because yes, I am a WWE guy. But I also was a TNA guy. I was an AEW guy until I seen things go downhill. I was a TNA guy until I seen things go downhill. I criticized WWE until I seen things go downhill. And if you don't believe me, check out my podcast on Spotify. Type in the Wrestling World Podcast and see how much I criticize WWE under Vince McMahon, under the booking, because it was terrible. So I'm not being biased because I watched WWE. I'm telling you from a fan's point of view, a fan that has been watching pro wrestling for almost 20 years. 20 years. Yes, wrestling has changed. Yes, it has evolved. But the stuff that AEW is doing, it's not wrestling. I mean, Adam Page and Swerve. I mean, Adam Page is lucky he's not even paralyzed right now. The whole bag over the head with Moxley, it's. I feel sorry for Bryan Danielson because that is the most technical wrestler they have on the AEW roster. And yet he has to be put with Moxley, who has to bleed every match he has to get color, and that's the term that is used in pro wrestling, get color, for those that don't know. Because I'm not insulting no one, but it does seem like the AEW fan base acts like they know so much about pro wrestling, and it's insane. And that's why I said I'm not trying to knock anybody that watches AEW, but this whole fan base, this whole rivalry, AEW this, WWE that, the whole clash between AEW and WWE is ridiculous. But I see more of it on the AEW fan base than I do WWE fan base. Because the same people that defend this garbage pro wrestling of AEW are the same ones that I see bashing WWE for their creative booking. And I will be the first to tell you, Triple H's creative booking is levels above Tony Khan's. Because to me, AEW is not even a competition for TNA. It wasn't a competition for TNA when TNA first started. It's not competition for TNA now. I don't even think AEW would be competition for WCW. I mean, or New Japan, or Pro Wrestling Noah, or NWA. You know, that there's, I don't know. I don't get it, guys. That's why I'm sitting here. I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I can't even join a wrestling group on Facebook or Twitter without somebody bashing other companies. You can't just have a pro wrestling conversation anymore without just, getting along with everybody. It's not possible. It's so irritating, so infuriating. But this is why I don't watch AEW. I will cover the latest news, but to sit and watch product that I can't bear to watch isn't worth covering. If I want to cover good pro wrestling, I'll watch WWE. Yes, some of the stuff they do I don't agree with, but it's better than AEW. I'll watch TNA because it's better than AEW. Hell, I'll watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling that was in the 90s because even that's better than AEW, even though it has been around 20 years. Because Jim Cornette knows what he's doing. Eric Bischoff knows what he's doing. But Tony Khan, he does not. Sad to say. And Collision, to me, I brought up Collision before because people are posting pictures of Collision and it's empty. But the fan base, the AEW fan base, they choose to bash WWE. And it's hilarious. It's because if you see AEW as competition to WWE, then I can't help you. Then there's no point in trying to talk to you. There's no point in trying to get through to you because I don't understand it. Like I said, I'm not trying to bash it, but I don't understand why people can't just enjoy pro wrestling, can't just keep their opinions to themselves. And I've kept my opinion to myself about AEW. Yes, I've criticized AEW, and I've said for the longest time that I hope AEW succeeds, but it is so hard to sit here and say that when you see the fan base, you see what they're doing. Yes, I hope they succeed. I hope they do something different, but at this point, there's a part of me that just doesn't care. I don't care what AEW does. I don't care about their fan base. If you watch it, good for you. Like I said, it's pro wrestling. If you want to call it pro wrestling, because really it's glorified BS is what it is. And we can debate too. Like, if you guys want to comment on this video and want to set up in a debate about it, I've debated WWE and AEW before. Wouldn't be my first time. So, I don't get it, guys. And I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I'm mostly making this video because I can't sleep. But it's like you can't even scroll through Facebook. I can't even go on Twitter without somebody bashing WWE or bashing AEW. Keep your opinions to yourself. But this is why I'm just giving my opinion. I'm giving my opinion, and I'm probably not going to talk about AEW unless I hear news. Unless I hear the latest news, because I won't watch it. It takes a lot to get me to watch AEW. I watched Collision a few weeks when we had VHS on the live stream. Couldn't even sit through it. And VHS is a AEW fan, and he couldn't even sit through it. So what's that tell you? Because it's pretty bad when AEW fans can't even defend AEW. And I feel like 50%, 60 or 70% of AEW fans are people that don't know the wrestling business, who've only been watching wrestling for 10 years, young people, young kids, young teenagers that don't know the wrestling business, never were around during the Ruthless Aggression era, never watched the Attitude Era, you know, doesn't know half of WWE, never seen Triple H wrestle, never seen Shawn Michaels wrestle, probably don't even know who Undertaker is, but they'll defend AEW and tell you what pro wrestling should be. I wish people would educate themselves on the business. I really do. Not saying I know everything, but I'm talking to you from a fan that's been watching pro wrestling for 20-some years. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And I can speak in a positive light about AEW. You know, they have the talent. They do. They just can't get their stuff together. Nice way of putting it. But, all right, guys. Sorry for that little explosion. What are your thoughts? You know, if you defend AEW, I want to know your thoughts in the comments. If you're seeing some of the stuff I'm seeing, I want to know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Please comment. Please like the video. Yeah, guys. Have a good night. It is 2 o'clock in the morning for me here in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to try to get some sleep. I will be doing a Smoky Mountain live stream at some point, either within the next couple of days or next week. So please be ready for that. I'm a big fan of Smoky Mountain. I'm a big fan of Jim Cornette. We're going to watch some old style wrestling. All right, guys, have a good night. Like I said, comment on this video, like the video. I'll see you soon. Have a good day, guys. Well, have a good morning, and have a good rest of your day.